And that's why you should never shake hands with a goat. This is Monday, September 10th, and we're gonna, it's a really short video because most of the stuff we did before this actually started like most of the way into class, but this last bit I have to record for you, and so I thought it'd be fun just to start the video like I was halfway through a joke and just sort of confuse people. And so the people at home are like, is he kidding about the goat thing? And so now they're going to be asking, great. So the more I can confuse kids, the better. Let's see. So there's midterms and B points are updated to Skyward. You're going to have to create this entry into your notebook called the 7-element speech. Should be on page Ocho. You also had to pick up a green sheet from me, which you're going to get tomorrow when you come back. Make sure you ask me for this, or boo-hoo to you, because this is going to be due next week, which we're going to talk about in a moment. This was for the kid that was gone, which is not for you guys unless you're gone again. And it's not going to help you if you turned off. Here's what you're going to do for the bell work. You're copying this chart into your notebook on the right-hand side, where it has character setting, plot, point of view, theme, internal, external conflicts. And you have a column that says the trait, a column that says what you say, and then a column that says hand motions. These are going to be bigger, smaller. But to put it up there, they kind of look all equally, but that's not the way it really should be. Because we're going to have to write more stuff over to here, and I'll explain how that works. Now, for those of you at home, we're going to be using our iPad, which is confusing for you because you're using your iPad right now to watch this. And so you might have to button, and you'll be confused, and your brain will explode. All right. Here's what you're going to do. With your iPad, on that green sheet that you have stapled into the back of your notebook. For those people at home, we took green sheet, and we stapled it to the back page of the notebook. Green sheet. Because you're going to have it right there. All right. So here's what you're going to do. This is what we're going to be doing with grammar. It's called Magic Lens. It's going to show you how to do nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositions, all of that fun stuff. And so it's going to be what's called a flipped classroom, which is where instead of me taking time to go through and teach it to you, I recorded myself going through and teaching it to you. The reason being is I've discovered with grammar, some of you still understand grammar. And when I say a verb, you're like, guess what you do? And you get all excited. For others of you, I'll go noun, and you'll go, what's a noun? I'll go person, place, a thing. You'll go, what's a person? And I'm like, ooh. So for you, you're going to need to rewatch the video multiple times. Others of you, there's going to be parts of it you can skip. You're going to be like, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. And so you're going to be filling this in as I explain all of it to you. Is it just a video of me going through and explaining it straight to you? Hecky doodles, no, that'd be incredibly boring for all of us. It's me giving you cheesy jokes and coming up with my own sentences and stuff like that. It's just like me live, but me in the video. And so that's what you're going to get a chance to go through and do. This is due next Tuesday. So it's going to give you like a week to completely forget about it. I'll keep sending you reminds and trying to help you out, but then next Tuesday I'm going to come around and make sure it's done and do the whole stampy thing, and you'll be like, what? There's a backside to it? Yes, when you flip it up, there's a backside to it. But you know that when you watch the video, because on the video I keep going and you're like, what? There's more after verbs? Yeah, there's 4 more things. They're all on the backside. So that's what you're going to have to watch the video to figure out. Collie?
Can you state which class this is?
I can. This is my, for today, so far, better advanced class, 4th period. Don't let it go to their head. Just because they're better today, that's what God created tomorrow. Judgment hat was for 3rd period today because they stumbled and fell on their face.
Okay, but Cameron needs
if it was a race, they'd be the kid that's like right there at the starting line. So it's all right. And so I'm not. This is too far away, and I'm a cross country coach. And so now iPad. Close it. I just did this that later on when your parents go, what are you supposed to do? And you go, I have no idea. I can link to the video and go, see, your kid's dumb. It's okay. And so this is the proof because this is you all closing your iPads. And then going, I guess 3rd period was good. All right, so now all we have left is the bell work. We're going to go through and help you out for here. The reason it's called the 7-element speech, you're turning this into a speech. It's not a hard speech. I'm giving you the entire speech. You're just going to have to stand, basically, it's not even really a speech. You're going to stand up and repeat these things to me, and you get 5 B points for doing it all on your own. But you have to do it in the correct order, and you have to have all the correct dance moves with it. If you don't, well, not dance. You like hand moves, you can like dance while you're doing it.
I love it.
And so you have to have all the correct moves, and it gets you 5 points. Plus, you have a chance of getting more than 5 points. We're going to wait for that until later. I'll tell you at the very end. So for each one, if you have the cheat sheet, the notes that we just got done grading on that one, take those notes and put them away. I want to see how much of this is still in your brain. Now, I have guesses as to how much is still in your brain.
0.
Does it rhyme with hero? It does rhyme with hero, but we're going to
Does
find
it rhyme
out.
with 0?
Hero's not a number. I'm aware that hero's not a number. It's okay.
Is it a round number?
Hero.
It is a round number.
Does it rhyme with 0?
It rhymes with awesome oints.
Awesome. Oh,
For characters, are the first one we're going to get to. What is their definition of characters?
Character.
We'll do it all together. It is.
People
that
See, it did rhyme with Miro. Yeah. Who is in the story? Could be the whole thing. It doesn't have to be people. It can be animals and objects and stuff like that. Mr. Brovicast, is this the part where we're writing in our notebook? This is the part where you're writing it in the notebook, so your throat doesn't start hurting.
Whoa, look at that.
Why would my throat? So on, I cannot imagine when you guys make your parents watch this. Why does he keep talking about hitting you guys in the throat? Nothing. Don't worry about it. For this one, for our hand sign that goes along with it, I figure we're going to be pointing to characters to help you remember it. Luckily for you, you're surrounded by characters. So you're going to be pointing to all of the characters around you. And so you're just going to go, characters, who is in the story? So it's just like the dance move.
Me. It's a one-man show.
And trust me, you are all characters, because when I have to go home and eat dinner with my family, I tell stories about you all the time.
Wait, what?
That's not
That is creepy.
So yeah, just find me.
Is my book part of that story?
So it is not.
Score.
I do. There's one girl who keeps talking to me and I ignore her. It's great. And so, it's the best thing ever.
Oh, great.
There's this other kid who talks all the time. I ignore him too. Setting! Jumping to that one. Mr. Brovak, do you enjoy your job? It's the bestest. There's 2 parts to setting. And the 2 parts are?
The where.
Oh, this one you knew. We've been practicing. When and where. Or where and when.
Whoa.
We'll
Is that a grammar?
Hey, 3rd period. Calm down. That's right. Throwing shade. On here, I figured the hand sign to go along with it as I was trying. My goal is that when you guys are getting to the quizzes and the tests and stuff like that, and I tried to help you, and it'd be like, setting, I don't remember what setting is. Well, I can't tell you during the quiz, so I can help you out. So you go, Mr. Robiak, what are characters? I'm going to go, and you'll go, I'm like, no. But hopefully for setting, we can try to help you out also. So I figure it's the when and where. The where, I thought about having you just point at the ground. That seems to just confuse kids. So we'll just do the when part instead. And so there's a device you can carry with you that tells you when things are occurring.
Yes.
Is it an iPad? No. It's like an iPad, but smaller and then circular, and you wear it on your wrist. So you can either point to your watchy thing, or you can point to the clock. The only trouble to pointing to the clock is that way there's a difference between characters, who's in the story, setting, when and where. You're like, there's not much of a difference. And so pointing here can help you a bit more. But if you want to do your own thing and you have a separate way of doing it, because I see some of you guys doing like some kind of weird clocky thing. For me, it looks like you're trying to do math, and you're like, bigger than less than, bigger than less. But if that works for you, I can roll with that. If you're that kind of person, I'm not too judgy. Jackson?
The clock is technically a setting in the way that it
Plots for
time.
plot. What is our definition on that one?
I think that's what happens.
Good job, kids who know the answer. Plot. What happens? That's my 7th grade voice. Nailed it. It's sort of like a song.
No, it's. I don't.
This one was inspired by students because every time I would ask them what the plot was, they would tend to respond in the same way. I'm going to try and not make it too telling of a thing. That 3rd period, as soon as I started saying this, they all immediately knew what it was. I'm assuming for you guys it's a compliment that you have no idea. Because when I asked them for plot, they were going like, what? What's a plot? I don't know what you're talking about. So for 3rd period, I was like, plot. I asked them, they were like, I have no idea what you're talking about already. And half the class just started shrugging, and I'm like, oh, that explains a lot. You guys, you're confused. You're like, Mr. Brovia, we're responsible. We know what we're doing.
Really?
Hashtag better
Only
than third.
this day.
When did that
So-
happen?
Plot, not all of you. Some of you guys have natural third period inside of you. Plot. What happens? You're going to shrug your shoulders. The problem is all my first period and fifth period and sixth period and seventh period kids are confused. Like, why does he keep talking about third and fourth?
Wait.
Because it's just
Because we're
it's fun to have kids do battle to the death.
Woo!
They're the good classes.
Point of view. How do we define point of view?
Who's telling us
How
the
the
story?
story is
Not who. We already used that.
How the story is
There you go. How we see the story.
Oh, I said how.
Good
Who,
job.
what, when, where, what, how.
For this one, with our how we see the story, be careful not to injure yourself. But I figure it's the whole point and viewing. So you're just going to be doing the pointing and then viewing. Although I have had kids do other odd things as far as like the covering of your eyes or whatnot or the binocular. I'm just more the pointing. I feel safe pointing at my eyes and going away. Others of you who seem to get a bit enthusiastic and be like, oh, point, oh my God, and you're going to fall to it. And so you might need to just do your point of viewing just by keeping a hand there like safety first and then point of view or covering your eyes or whatever.
We do this.
Point of view. So that's works for you. Point of view. How we see the story. So point eyes out. For theme! What is our theme?
Moral.
Moral.
I know making me put away the notes made things tough. It's like, yeah, you
The
should
moral
break
of the story.
You're trying to make
Let's
us think. I put what we learned because I thought that might make things a little bit easier. As an overall, it's fairly short. The theme is the stuff that we're learning in the story. I did put learning quotation marks because for some of you, I'm not sure it ever actually happens. So I figured in theory it should be there. For this one, what I went for was it's a two-part bit. One, where does learning take place?
Your brain.
In your head.
Definitely not.
Hopefully not just school. And then what letter does learning begin with?
L.
So you're going to show us that learning takes place inside of the head. Some of you probably learn a lot, which is why people are always showing you that you're a good learner. And they're always like, you're a good learner. And you're like, oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. Some of you are better at learning than others. For some of you, I'll show you all the time. It's a learning day. And we'll try to help you out. So theme, what we learn. Here, we're learning patience. Internal conflict. For that one we have,
A major decision.
nicely done, Terrell.
Jarrell.
The decision in the story. Decision. Decision?
Decision.
Decision. It's Spanish for
Dissection.
making a choice.
Jackson,
So, decision in the story. I got this one from the hand sign. I was trying to think what to do for it. I was like, well, in TV shows and in movies, whenever they're trying to show the audience that the character is trying to make a decision, usually there's one of two things they'll end up doing. Sometimes they'll scratch like, should I keep talking and lose points or should I keep my points? Then other times you'll see them like scratch their chin area like, talking is so much fun, but I keep losing points for it. And so you get your choice, either here or here. It depends on where your brain is. For some of you, your brain's up here. For others of you, you keep your brain in your mouth, which I'm assuming is why you open it so often, is because you're afraid your brain's not getting oxygen, and that's why it's always going. So you're probably going to be scratching more down in this area. For others of you, you're closer to a monkey, and you're going to be scratching both of them, and you're like, what's the decision thing you're talking? And so we'll try to help you out from there. So decision, you can either scratch the temple, or scratch the chin, or both of them while you're eating a banana. Miko?
Can we do face palm?
Sure, if that. I had another kid who was like, can I do like the wavy thing? And that's fine with me. If you have another one, as long as you're consistent with it and it works and we can figure it out, that's fine with me. I'm willing to let you have your own creative interpretation. External conflict is written as?
White versus
Fire
There you
This
go.
is my
Something
side.
versus something. So for external, we're always going to do this, something versus something. For my hand sign on this one, what I was going for is I figured if it's a fight or a battle, remembering it's something versus something, here's where we discover that for many of you, you should never get into a fight in your entire life because you're going to be getting into your fighting stance.
Yes.
And we're going to figure out that your fighting stance probably involves you like curling in like, this is my fighting stance.
Same.
And so it's just going to be external conflict, something versus something. Tomorrow, we're going to practice this and then see how well you do with it and then get a chance to go on from there. Because tomorrow we get to read a nonfiction article and learning and stuff.